Questionable play calling on offense and defense? Yep. Knowing that Bijan Robinson is super good at football and still getting burnt by him? Yep. Offensive line not playing up to their expectation, even though they were missing two key starters? Yep. Going down by 3 touchdowns early, yet still finding a way to claw yourself back into making this a one-score game that you kind of almost could have possibly come back to win? All this and more happened because the Los Angeles Rams have lost to the Atlanta Falcons 27-24. And I think it's safe to say it was a weird game. Obviously, I'm disappointed with the outcome. I really wanted the Rams to win out and finish with 13 wins on the season. The consequences of this game, I still say are minimal. Just because the Rams had locked up their playoff spot, so thankful for that. However, the greater concern of it is, okay, how good can the Rams be without their left tackle, A.J. Jackson, and their right guard, Kevin Dotson? They were severely missed in this game. I think that was clear based on, the pressure that Stafford was under, especially in the first half. If you're a Falcons fan watching this, GG's, good games, absolutely. The Falcons, they're a talented team that maybe have underachieved this year, but they they have some talented players and they wanted this win bad. I'm gonna start off here again. Thanks everyone for tuning on in, but I'll start off with Sean McVay, and he said this in his post game presser.
You give them credit; they made the plays.
Yeah,
we didn't.
Yep.
And I think it's as simple as that. We can look at a lot of different things. Ultimately, it's my responsibility to have us ready to go. And we weren't ready to go from the jump. Yeah. And that I did think our special teams was a major step in the right direction. Yep. That was a positive.
Total give credit where credit's due. One game removed from some special team blunders. They were improved today, for sure.
I thought the blocked kick with the touchdown, those are...
Shout out Jared Verse. That was one of the best plays we've seen from Jared Verse's entire career. Hope to see more of him.
The types of plays you have to make to get yourself back in the game. We did that. We were able to get back and tie it. And then we got to get a stop. And then we got to be able to make the plays that we're capable of making when we do get the ball back to even give ourselves a chance to be able to tie it up, because there were some opportunities to do that. But it was too many things to overcome. We put ourselves behind the 8 ball, and that's why we're sitting here with the L.
Well said, Sean McVay and his post-game pressure there. And I'm not going to be in, hosting a pity party. What am I trying to say here? It sucks the Rams lost this game. Thankfully, it would have hurt more when you think about it. If the Rams still had a shot at the number 1 seed next week, this loss would have hurt a lot more, right? Because the Seahawks and the Niners won yesterday, the Rams mathematically were eliminated from the number 1 seed. This loss would have hurt way more than it does right now. Definitely the concern are, the Rams did not play up to their potential tonight. I think that Stafford had a bad night. His O-line had a bad night. The Rams defense, though they made some plays late in the game, that is not the performances that we would have liked to see from this Rams defense that I still think has their best football to be played. I'm optimistic that they can get it fixed before the playoffs. But let's take a look at some stats here. We'll go into the team stats. So total yards, 363 for the Rams to 345 for the Falcons. The passing 248 to 126. So this is not like Cousins had a phenomenal game, right? This is where it hurt, especially that 93-yard run by Bijan Robinson. That's the greater concern. I think that's my biggest concern coming out of this game, because every team in the NFC playoffs right now are being like, Rams, run to the outside. They can't secure the edge very well. And, if we keep pounding it, keep doing it, eventually we're going to break a run loose, right? That's what Kenneth Walker did against the Rams, 2 games ago. That's what Bijan Robinson did just this game. So frustrating. The Rams are struggling to set the edge there. Third down, 5-13 for the Rams, 5-13 for the Falcons. Total plays 61 to the Falcons 53. The Rams are playing from behind a bunch there. The 3 sacks allowed. The Rams O line has played at such a high level this season, and tonight it just we definitely missed seeing Kevin Dotson and AJ Jackson out there. Absolutely, you hope that your backup lineman can come in and perform well, but that was an issue this game for sure. And like they were able to force the Falcons to punt it 5 times to the Rams too, but that's because the Rams threw or Stafford threw 3 interceptions this game, right? Even though the Rams had the time of possession by like a minute, it's yeah, there were some very annoying penalties in this game. I'd say for both teams, kind of a wonky game. Uh, I I'm not a big blame the refs guy, but it was part of the story for both teams for sure. Falcons fans, if you're watching this, I would love to hear your opinions on that. And Ram fans, if you're watching this, I always enjoy hearing your opinions on the Rams games. If we go over to individual stats, Stafford, 22 of 38, 269 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Obviously, it was his worst game of the year. And I would say that just because he had some bad throws. The O line did not give him the time he needs. Kyron Williams, he had some good runs, especially late in the game. He was 13 carries for 92 yards. Hope Blake Corum's okay. He went out with an injury. We'll have to check in with him and hopefully get an update on that. Xavier Smith had some really good moments in this game. There was one catch in the one pass in the fourth quarter where it was just out of the reach, but it would have been a game-changing catch potentially if he would have caught it. But you like what you see out of X Factor. Terrence Ferguson had a touchdown catch and 2 catches. One was a really nice fourth down conversion. So Puka, not his best game. He did have some crazy catches because that's what Puka does. Kyron getting involved in the passing game a little bit here. And as you can see, Stafford was spreading the ball around. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different players caught a pass from Stafford tonight. Cam Curl, leading tackler. Jared Verse, I already talked about this, but that blocked kick return for a touchdown, I'm hoping that that's a turning point play in Jared Verse's career, right? I see people criticizing Jared Verse, saying he's overhyped or overrated, things like that. I think he's still a young player that has a very high ceiling of how good this guy can be. And that play right there from this game, I hope that's something that every now and then we're like, oh, Verse blocked another kick, or oh man, Verse, got a sack when he needed to, or put pressure on the quarterback when he needed to, turning into that clutch, defender, that superstar that the Rams really need him to be, especially in the playoffs. So this is a game I'm totally ready to move on from. Frustrating. Obviously, you never want to see your team take the L like that. But again, if you look at the Falcons stats, Cousins, he didn't have anything spectacular. 126 for 1 touchdown. He didn't have to make any mistakes, right? And then Bijan, 22 carries, 195 yards and touchdown, with that 93-yard run being just so detrimental to the Rams in this game. So this loss sucks. To sum it up, that's the way I would, if you want my expert analysis as a Rams fan with a YouTube channel, that's what I would say. And, the Rams have a lot of film to watch this week. They have to have a get right game versus the Cardinals next week. And they got to go into the playoffs playing hot because they're likely now going to play either the Bears or the Eagles on the road. So, who knows? We'll see how that goes. But feel free to like and subscribe, all that jazz. Appreciate you if you've watched to the end of this video. Thank you. And I'll be live on Wednesday nights with my fellow Rams content creator, Rams House, for our show First Down Rams Live. And we'd love to see you there. And of course, I'll be hosting a watch party for every Rams game. And we'll see you there. As always, Go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams. Thanks for watching, everyone.